Today's job is a leaky chimney. The chimney is falling apart. That's the issue for the leak here. You can see, I can take apart the chimney by hand. To repair masonry on a chimney like this, we're going to be taking apart the top layers that are loose, probably 2 layers, maybe 3. We're going to be cutting all the joints to about where the roof line is, to about right here. All these joints will be cut out, this brick replaced, top 2-3 layers taken apart, and a new crown put in. The crown is shot too. You can see it's falling apart. Crown can be taken apart with a chisel and a hammer. Looks like somebody tried waterproof the crown maybe 10 years ago with elastic stucco. This flue is not being used anymore, so I'm going to cut it, then fill it in with mortar. Build a little top on it so mortar doesn't drop in. This chimney is so discolored that if I put in too many new bricks, they would stand out too much. So all old good bricks, I clean up and reuse them. This one here, I would probably reuse half of it. You can maybe use this brick for something, cut a piece off. It's a good color brick. Definitely can't use the whole thing. Bricks don't cost much, 20 cents to $1 a piece, so you're not going to save any money trying to save the bricks. But the job will come out way nicer the more bricks you save. You will never get a complete perfect match with new bricks. So the idea is whatever bricks you save, you put back and you mix in new bricks so it doesn't stand out too much. This brick is perfect. So far you get the idea. We take apart everything piece by piece, try not to destroy or damage the flue. This one is garbage anyway, but this one stays. So when I take this apart, I have to be careful so I don't damage the flue. If it does this one won't get damaged, but if you do damage your flue, you can just cut it with a grinder and put a new piece in. Very often I come out, see these chimneys, they're almost ready to tip over. All of this goes down 3, 4, 5 feet, and there's almost nothing that this chimney is secured to that. It's only working by gravity. All these bricks, they compress down, and that's how it doesn't fall over. But I see many of these chimneys fall over during heavy windstorms. We're coming along pretty good. Most of the loose stuff from the top is taken apart. I even got my way down to here, to this damaged brick with a pop face. These are all my good bricks. I will use most of them. Some of them might be trash. Starting to take apart this side of the chimney. Probably go down one more layer. All the loose bricks are fully taken apart. I also took off the cap. Just unscrew a couple screws and it comes off. The flue liner was already filled in, so I'm taking apart maybe a layer or two layers. Take it down to here. It's nothing but bricks inside and just chipping them apart, taking them out. Up and down the scaffold, we bring everything and take down with a rope. I took apart all the loose bricks. Now I'm going to be cutting out all the joints. For the joints, I use a diamond tip saw blade. I use a skinny one. You can get a bigger one, thicker one that cuts the joint at one pass. But for that, you're going to need a more powerful and bigger grinder. Too heavy for me for a little job. What I do is cut the top of the joint, then the bottom. Then I chip it out with a little chisel. And you don't want to push too hard. Let the grinder do the job for you. After you cut out all your bad joints, take a chisel and you chip it out. You will notice the bricks are moving. That means the joints are bad and I'm going to have to take apart more bricks. When I take my saw I want to ride the top of the brick like this. Same thing here, the bottom of the brick, you want to ride it. Cut the joints. And you chisel it out. And it just falls apart. This is how a cut out and chipped out joint looks. You can stick your finger in it. It's a minimum 1/2 inch to 1 inch deep. Now I'm gonna cut out all 4 sides to about the roof line. The roof line is lower here, but it looks like all these joints are in good shape. All the bad joints are cut out. The way you know you cut out all the bad joints is when you start hitting very hard resistance. Now I'm gonna break them out with the chisel. I cut out the joints. The outside of the joint was very tough, but the inside was shot. This chimney was shot from the inside out. So all the bricks that I cut out, I needed to take them apart. Now I'm good to solid ground. The bottom joints, they're very tough. They didn't want to move. Now I'm going to clean everything off. Once I got all the big stuff in the bucket, I'm gonna blow everything off. Saved a lot of bricks. Nice bricks in good condition. And I'm probably gonna have to buy a decent amount more. Everything is nice and clean on the roof, scaffold blown off. It's ready to get put back together. It might rain tonight, so I put a tarp on the chimney. Better safe than sorry. Tarp covers all the bricks all the way to the flashing. How you broskies doing? This is day 2. We're going to start putting the mortar on today. Everything was cut out yesterday and taken apart. When I mix my mortar, I always start with a little bit of water. Put in a little bit of water in the bucket, maybe 2-3 inches. When I mix my mortar, I always like to mix it more wet. Then add mortar to the consistency I want. When I mix my mortar, I always add Portland cement. 1 shovel is good enough for a bucket. Always put my foot on it and give it a slow start. It's a little bit on the wet side, and that's what I want. A little bit too wet, but it's not enough. Some more water, some more mortar. It looks pretty good. I always check it with a trowel. You're just looking for the feel. See if the trowel goes in easily, not too hard, not too watery. This mortar looks great. Here's a bucket of water, and I run it to clean my tip. Now you have a nice and clean tip. And it's ready to go up. doing masonry this high up, you're basically doing an illusion of the eye. Being this high up, 40 feet, nobody would see if your brick is a little bit crooked, if it's a little bit off center, or if it's a little bit on level. You're 40 feet up. Usually the rule is, once you hit about 20 feet, you can't see almost any imperfection in a masonry wall, in a chimney. So being this high up, or you at home working at about 20 feet or higher, don't worry about anybody seeing any imperfection from the ground. First thing that I do is make sure my bricks will kind of fit, and they fit. This is the new one. I will mix it in, and nobody will be able to tell it was put in brand new. Should be go fill these joints. They're pretty big joints, what they had here. This looks like a pretty good one. Yep. I have the mortar a little bit stiffer so it can set up faster for me. We're supposed to get more rain tomorrow around midday, maybe morning. So I would like to finish this today. This one looks pretty good. Would it go in good? Looks like it. Not too much to it. Now, if I was lower, say maybe 10, 15 feet high, I will use a level, make sure this is nice and level this way, nice and plumb. If I was about 10, 15 feet high, definitely 100%, I'd be using the level. You can see it's nice and even. It looks good, no level. Putting in my new piece again. It's a nice corner piece. We're going to save that one. This is a nice filler. Another piece. This one looks pretty good. Again, we're working with pretty stiff mortar, so it can set up faster. Here, maybe put in a new piece here. Try and keep all the new pieces on this side of the chimney, because here nobody would see. It's blocked by the trees, and not only by the trees, there's no way you can walk up and see it from this side. If I did it on this side, you can, well, it wouldn't be that noticeable, but you can see it more. If you can hide it more, hide it. Why not? My first masonry job was when I was about 16 for my neighbor. And that came out very, very good. As a 16-year-old, I never did masonry. I do pretty much anything from the exterior of the house. Roofing, siding, masonry. But it has to be on the exterior of the house. No interior work. My primary specialty is repairing leaks. When people have a leak, they call me. Let's see what we can get on this side. Doesn't look like a good corner piece. This one looks great for a corner piece. Yep. Make sure it's nice and even to the edge. It looks good. Coming along pretty well. As you can see, it's pretty nice and even. I know masons that build a chimney all the way from the ground to the top without using the level. But once they start off about 10 feet, and those chimneys come out looking perfect. Can't find a flaw with it. That gives you, experience. That's a mason that maybe has 20, 30 years experience. This will be a good corner piece. Yep. Maybe put in a new piece right here. Put in right here. Usually I don't want my new pieces touching. That looks not too good. My next new piece might go here, here, so not right here. Yep, that looks good. Maybe we might finish this chimney today. Put a crown on, everything. It's about 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. Might have enough time. Chimney is coming along pretty good. Let me take you back. And how's that look to you without a level? Very good. Sides are nice. Joints are nice. Joints are starting to dry up pretty fast. So I'm gonna make some more loose mortar to fill in the joints better. Probably go up another 3 rows. Probably 3. I'm also gonna be putting new flashing here. These are cutout joints on the bottom. They have to be filled in. And these bricks were very, very strong. None of them moved. Again, you can see, very nice. Here, I'm filling in the gaps with garbage bricks. These gaps are going to be filled in too. Off to make more mortar. Now is a good time to take some bag mortar and fill in the joints. For bag mortar, you want it to be very loose, very watery, so it comes out the bag easily. When you mix it up and put it in your bag, if it comes out too easily, drips out, it's too watery. If it's very hard to squeeze out, it's too hard then. The only way you can figure it out is by test and trial. Mix them up, put it in the bag, and see if it works for you. But it should be about like this. This consistency. When you put it in the bag, it doesn't drip out by itself from the end. First shovel might come out. Nope, that didn't come out. The end, squeeze it, and you can see how easily it comes out for me. Now if it's coming out too hard for you, you can put pressure here and do this with your finger on the end. That makes it come out easily. And fill in the joints. On this job, my mortar is a little bit more stiffer. So you can see I'm doing the finger trick. Here you can see I'm not doing the finger trick and it's very hard for it to come out. I'm pushing it with my finger and it makes it easy to come out. And this mortar is going to set up way faster and cleaner, being that it's a little bit more stiffer. Now I have all my cutout joints filled in. It's also a good idea to fill in these joints, because when you do it with the tool to even it out, you're going to have to put some mortar into here. To avoid that, and I have a bag with me, I might as well do this now. Anywhere it might be missing a little bit. All the joints are filled in pretty well. Once they dry up a little bit, they're going to be ready for the finishing step. Finally reached the top. I filled in all these joints with loose mortar chips that I had. I broke apart a couple blocks, couple bricks, just to fill in the voids. And in between I put mortar. And this is going to be the finishing mortar on top. This is just some mortar that I had left from doing the bricks. When I do the cap, I put fiberglass in it. That was the reason this chimney failed in the first place. Bad cap. Caps, they have a life anywhere between 15 to 40 years. If it's a cap that was done very well, it's going to give the homeowner 40 years. Something that wasn't done too well, 15, 20. Right now I'm filling in all the cracks, joints, with a regular mortar. Then I'm gonna go and mix up some mortar with little pieces of fiberglass hair in it. The fiberglass is going to prevent the cap from cracking, and that's what kills the top of your chimney. When your cap cracks. Let's try filling all the gaps. Now give this a couple minutes to dry. At the same time, all the joints are drying out, so we can tool them, making nice and even. This would dry up a little bit. Now I'm gonna go and mix up mortar with fiberglass in it. Always put in a little bit of water. The reason you put the water in first is so your mortar cement doesn't stick to the bottom. It's good enough. That was your cement mortar. Mortar mix type S. And you always want to add a little bit of real cement to this. This bag right here is this right here. It's Portland cement mixed with sand. To make your mix better, always add a scoop of real cement. Real Portland cement. This right here gives you a stronger and better mix. It's nicely mixed up, still nice and water. Now you add mortar till you get the consistency you want. Now it's starting to thicken up. Now we're going to add the fiberglass. All it is fiberglass hairs. They're 3/4 inch fiberglass hairs, and this is a 1 pound bag. A 1 pound bag usually lasts me 4 to 5 chimney caps or crowns. And that's good enough. And you can see this is little tiny hairs. These are big, but they break up to maybe 20, 30 hairs each once I mix them up. The hairs I put in, they look like big chunks right now, but they break up to little tiny human-sized hairs. It's probably 1,000 or 2,000 hairs in that bucket, so more than enough for a chimney cap. It's what I want right now. Can you see the hairs right here? You can see they broke up into maybe 1,000 or 2,000 little tiny hairs, probably smaller than a human hair. Can you see it better here? Yes? Mm-hmm. That's what you want in a cap. And this cap is going to last 40, 50 years, no problem. Clean out your blade. Up the big scaffold. The first bucket I dumped right here, and I spread it around kind of evenly, roughly. Let it dry up a couple minutes, then even it out. This is the second bucket. Again, just put it right in the middle. See? And when you're doing your cap, you need minimum 1 inch of mortar. Usually minimum 1 inch here. You can go up to 2 inches. Maximum you want to do is about 4 inches so it doesn't crack. You want to do anywhere from 1 to 4 inches. The sweet spot is around 2. You can make very good money in masonry, roofing, but it's very hard work. And what a lot of people don't realize, it's seasonal. Most of your work is spring and fall. Winter and deep summer, you don't really see too much work. Well, winter, that's close to zero. Summertime, you can have work, but not as much as spring and fall. That's when you gotta make most of your money for the year. You can see I got kind of evened out, nice big hump. Here goes to the sides, and usually I put a little valley in, like this. Now let this mortar set up, maybe 10 minutes, 20 minutes, then I'm going to finish it off. After the mortar sets up for 10-20 minutes, it's easier to finish. It gets more water to the top, it's smoother to finish, it's a little bit harder underneath, so it keeps its shape. I'm going to let the top set up for a little while. Now I'm going to hit the joints. Here's my joiner. You can tell when your joints are very good, when you can kind of push them in, you can see. They're very good right now. They're not too wet, where they're going to make everything dirty, and they're not too dry, where it's going to be very hard to strike them. When you use your striker, you always want to go this way. Usually, you don't want to go this way. You can push out the joint. If you have any questions about doing mortar work, brickwork, you can write in the comments and I will respond. Might not be fast, but I will respond eventually when I get a chance to read them. You can also put in the comments how I can improve the videos for you, what I can show better, or what you would like to see. I specialize in leak repairs. So I do everything on the outside that repairs the leak, and I also have a team of roofers that do roofing. I let the cap set up for about 20 minutes. Now I'm finishing it off. Finishing it off is very easy. What you don't want to do is leave little tiny cracks like this. Let me show you. Let's see if I can. There you go. You can see little tiny cracks you don't want to leave. You want to get it as smooth as possible. You can see now how much easier it is to finish all of this mortar. how smooth it finishes and how easy it is. See here? Don't want stuff like that. It's a lot easier to finish it off when you let it set up a little bit. The issue you might run into if you try to finish it off, as soon as you put the mortar on, it's going to slump. It's going to want to drop after you do it. You let it set up for a couple minutes. Now, after it's finished, it's going to stay in its spot. Stuff like this, you just do it with your finger, the edges. And to achieve a finish like this, you don't need a lot of practice. You just want to do it. Have it in your head that you want to do it. And to even do a job like this, you don't need a scaffold. Many times, if it's a little tiny chimney, 2 by 2 feet, only needs maybe 1-2 layers of bricks, or a lot of times just needs a new crown, I do it from a ladder. Setting up a scaffold and taking it apart takes a lot of time. It's very heavy too, the scaffold. I am very happy with this finish, and what's as important as the finish is that all your water goes away from your flue. Doesn't have to be nice again, nobody sees it up here. All the joints are finished. You can see all the joints, I hit them and the mortar dried up a little bit. I'm not doing the brush as soon as I do the joints. I let the joints dry up again for a couple minutes. Now I just hit the joints with a soft bristle brush. Again, any issues I fix with my finger. Now I'm going to do what I did on all 4 sides, and I'll be finished in a couple minutes. All finished with this job. To recap, the issue was a leak from bad masonry. A old busted cap deteriorated all the mortar joints and it created a leak. Everything is rebuilt. It's not going to be in this video. Maybe I might put it in a future video. I'm going to be putting in brand new flashing here. I'm replacing that pipe shoe, that vent. There's a rotted fascia we have to replace over there. That skylight we replaced a couple days ago. So we still have here probably another 2-3 days of work. Just to take apart the scaffold, take it back to the yard, that's a half-a-day job. I specialize in leak repairs. I do skylights, chimney flashing, gutters, siding, windows, chimney, anything that leaks on the outside of the house. If you have a specific video you would like me to make, please put in the comments and eventually I will get to it. Also, put in the comments, tell me how I can improve my videos. What else you would like to see in my videos. And subscribe so you can see my new videos. Bye!